Everyone, welcome back to Jaraci Cup number 17. This is going to be the grand finals played between myself and Just Carrier. It's only like 3 months late, but you know, better late than never. Better late than never. We do have an info.txt, but we also have a picture because, you know, it's Just Carrier, so of course we do. Here's him being upset that I haven't, like, bothered to do the frickin' tournament yet. And then here's Just Carrier finally, like, managing to... Here's Just Carrier finally managing to get the game going, and then here's me just screaming PC Rush at him. It's very good, it's very good. Anyway, no surprises on the pick bans. We're gonna ban Kalash, and he's gonna ban KT Alt. And he'll grab Crater for map 1. And I want to jump right into it because this is kind of an interesting match here. And I want to see exactly what happens from Just Carrier's perspective. I mean, obviously, I know the outcome, right, because I played these, but, you know, whatever. Despite the info picture, you know, insinuating I'm just going to PC rush every game, I do sometimes go eco in this series, and this is one of those, so we're doing ref mode first here. Just Carrier says it's the only interesting game. Now, I always like to, like, put that scanner somewhere where it won't just get picked off instantly. But I'm kind of gambling that he's actually going to expand that side, and he doesn't in this case. He actually goes this way, so that's pretty unfortunate for me. The scanner's not really going to give me any info. If it's possible, it's really fun to, like, cancel Sandskimmer Fab and go for, like, another PC. But I can only do that if I can see the support cruiser, and we don't see it in this case, so it's not going to happen. Have I taken my meds? Not for years, man. Not for years. They made me stop seeing the lights. I didn't like them. And for Just Carrier here, you'll notice a very heavy emphasis on CUs, right? He doesn't have any RU miners on main. He had them at the beginning to get enough for that carrier production upgrade. That's all he needs. And he'll probably, yep, he's building one right now so that he can get up that LAV assault pack here. But he's gonna build a lot of LAVs. That's the game plan right now. In fact, I would even cancel this. I don't think he needs it. Yeah, expand with the double PC, and it's extremely greedy, right? It's extremely greedy, but like if your opponent is going for SC Furnace, you can absolutely get away with it. So it's kind of interesting. But see, in this case, I don't know, right? I don't know that his SC is out because I didn't see it there. So. And Just Carrier is saying, apparently the carrier starts facing this way, which means that most people naturally expand that way. So that's actually really cool. Yeah, you can see the tire treads in the sand of him turning the carrier around there. He's trying to get me to, like, you know, expect that he's not going for it, which actually is exactly what happened. It totally worked for him. I have my second PC building anyway. And you can see I want to scout carrier here, but I'm going to be denied, I believe. Yeah, that LAV, or Sandskimmer does not get vision on the carrier. And now I'm sort of at a loss for, like, what my opponent is doing, because I haven't seen tech yet. And I'm kind of just assuming it's going to be AAVs, but, you know, there are a lot of LAVs on the field, so you've got to think about that. Missile ship Fab actually teching right away. Oh, wow, okay, so I must be thinking it's air or something. By the way, I'm gonna actually disagree with what Apex is saying. It's very, very easy to punish the Galcian player for being too greedy like that, and this is kind of the build that would do it too. So like, if I hadn't gone for Sandskimmer Fab before second PC, I think I would just kind of die. By the way, kind of lazy micro there, as I did make a 1-for-1 out of what should have been a 1-for-0. But even so, here come the LEVs. They actually boosted in that group right there. They've got damage 1 teched, and so I'm kind of incapable of fighting this, and Missile Ship Fab is finished, so I can't cancel it. So that's really unfortunate for me. Base Runner Heal called to just try and, like, save this somehow, but it ain't gonna happen. And there's more LEVs coming as well, so this is gonna be a really, really difficult position for me, and I probably just have to give up 3 base for a time. Yeah, well, that's why I think more people should do it against Galcian, right? Like, get your second base set up and then just, like, start spamming LAVs. And if your opponent went for macro and he was being too greedy, he dies. Like, it's just not even close. You denied some mining. Well, no, I mean, this is going pretty well so far. Yeah, I mean, you can see it in the units lost tab there. And to be fair, he's only on 2 base right now. But, like, still, you know, I invested into 3 base, so I really want to be there. I feel the pressure. Armor 2 is teching here just to try and, like, get my sand skimmers a little bit beefier as fast as I can. And the carrier's going to be the one who pushes off here, and I'm going to try to have the sand skimmers hold the mid. Which is probably not a good idea, because he has more LAVs than I do. Probably it'd be best to just leave the carrier around here, but... Why double spam when you can triple... Yeah, good point. Good point. Hey, speaking of spam, though, Just Carrier is moving up onto 3 base, which is going to allow him to spam quite a lot more. And yes, it's true, there's no tech. I mean, there's missile ship fab, but we're not going to count that. And I might even, like, be enticed into building one here pretty soon. Because, you know, all I see is LAVs, so it's not a bad guess that fighter and gunship is coming. Hey, there it is. But my missile ship tech, no doubt about it, was way too early here. It could have waited a lot. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. Just Carrier can see that I have no tech, right? Because he had vision on the carrier just a few seconds ago. I'm gonna take a 1 for 2 here. It looks like I'm gonna try to stick in to make it better, but it ain't gonna happen. Oh, and that guy gets out too. That's like a 4 for 1 trade. Not really sustainable. Yeah, like if I would go into assault ships here, you know, for a bit more bite against those LAVs, get some hard points that I can fight around. Like the techs that it leads into are good, you know. There's no reason not to do it. So I think I'm just sort of tunneling on like I have to win this strike craft fight, and that's all there is to this game. And that's just not true. So I think I'm probably gonna pay for that. By the way, this is a 1 for 1. That's much more sustainable. You can see the LAV counts for Just Carrier are kind of drying up here, but it's because he's saving money, and this is what he's saving it for. We're gonna see it on the queue in just a moment. It'll be a double gunship. There's one. And he doesn't actually have the CUs for the second one, but he'll have them soon. And yeah, given these new circumstances, the interceptors would be very nice. They would be very nice. But, you know, Siege would be good too, Bombers would be good. It's all good, right? I mean, like, Assault Ships opens up a lot of techs that I could use. Really, really badly mispositioned here, by the way. I'm trying to push out so aggressively, like, my opponent is on my side of the map, and this is just bad, you know? So, we need to get these... Oh, well, not Siege versus LAVs. I just mean in general on this map, right? Like, later on. But yeah, I really need to get these sand skimmers back home now. This is not ideal. For what it's worth, we're gonna do quite a bit of damage to the LAVs. But there's also 2 gunships in the air, right? So it's not even clear that I'm gonna win this. And the base runner's not there to do heal either. Oh no. And the missile ships are just kind of like sitting over here picking their noses or whatever. You can see me trying to split, but it was pretty late. And man, those gunships just murdered me there. This guy's got 2 kills and this guy has 3. You can see the health bars are just so low. So now the LAVs can kind of just push in and do whatever they want. And they got 8 kills between them here. And they both get out at like that low HP. Oh, wow. Really, really well played there by Just Carrier. Barrage going to be used to just try and stop him from moving in there. But that's not good. I mean, oh, we're already on the units lost tab. Just take a look at it, right? And that should tell you exactly how this game is going. It's pretty well out of my hands. BC Fab gonna start, and that's just like that's a hammer. You know, right? I mean, like if he can have BCs show up in just like what's it gonna be, 3 minutes or so when he gets this ready? I mean, that's GG. What am I supposed to do? Radar guided missiles is teching, interceptor fab is teching. You know, we're trying our best here, but there's not really a whole lot that can be done at this point. Gunships hate wheels. Truer words never were spoken. And like, look how much Just Carrier's floating too. It's like this is not even a difficult game for him. Certainly that last fight didn't help, but I do want to reiterate, I think that just Carrier's opening was really, really good here. It wasn't all just down to that last fight that made things go bad. Ah, that's a good point, right? Because if you... I mean, in this case, there's no AAVs on the field, obviously, but, like, there could have been, right? By the way, support cruiser anti-air, how does he know? It's really a heads-up play there. But, obviously there were no AAVs this time, but if there had been, right, then naturally I would think, oh, I need assault ships to fight this or whatever. Oh, shoot, yeah, you're talking about the LAVs, right, because you need assault ships to counter the LAVs. And then you go into something that you need rails to beat, like battle cruisers. He scouted the air, okay. Well, in that case, it's not quite so magician-like, but it's still pretty cool. Barrage can be used to maybe salvage this. And you can see it hits actually remarkably well there. So that's like a miracle for me. And one of the gunships gets picked out by the interceptors as well, so they've done their job also. I probably shouldn't have gotten an after... Well, no, you kind of need afterburner to fight the heavier, so I sort of had to do that. But you can see I'm getting railgun tech now because I've seen that carrier coming here. And I don't know that there's BCs coming, but there's something coming, right? And I need to be ready for that.
Enemy contact on sensors.
But that's pretty good for me, you know. I mean, like we've definitely evened up the scoreline a lot here, but the tech is still just not even, and it never will be, right? We have railguns on the way as he's about to pop out 2 battlecruiser babies, so not good, not good. And with SCAA, it's also going to be pretty tough to attack these bases, it's worth noting. He's also got the base runners there. It's going to be difficult. Hey, did you guys know that this barrage ability from the missile ships in vanilla can actually hit air units? So that's interesting. Well, here come the BCs. Time to die, I guess. We do have railgun fab, and I'm building them as fast as I can, but that's never going to be fast enough. Also, a little bit unfortunate that this one is building out of this PC instead of the other one. Interceptors just scouting for the flank here, that's what they want to do. They're also denying the gunships, to be fair, so that's also pretty good. This thing can get off my screen. Missile ship barrage to try to dissuade my opponent from driving forward. I mean, that's how you know we're in desperate times here. And by the way, if the ground-based anti-air net for me goes away here, like if these 2 missile ships die, it's possible the gunships can just kind of be here anyway, because there are support cruisers to do anti-air against the interceptors, so that's not good either. And all told, it's going to be 2 heavy railguns to fight 2 BCs, and I feel I shouldn't have to explain that that's not really a winning proposition. We're gonna try for it. If I could get EMP rounds, that might be good too. Looks like I have armor too, which might actually make them survive an extra shot here. Yeah. You can see. There's a nice break point there, so armor 2 is helping me a bit, but... That was something that A-Game spent a lot of time making sure worked exactly that way, by the way. And then the BCs smoke and they heal back up to full. I mean, I'm sticking in it because it's like the finals and I want to show a bit of grit. But yeah, this game is over. There's no chance at all that you can possibly recover from this position. I'm gonna come in with the sand skimmers though. I'm gonna pick off the bases. I mean, that's got to be worth something. Well, as they say, this conflict is lost. And Just Carrier is going to take Game 1 of the Jaraci Cup 17 finals. Really, really good game by him, just all around. I mean, I think that was really well done. Sandskimmer Graveyard. I think I played kind of admirably trying to, like, claw it back after that really disastrous fight, and the barrage that I managed to hit on the LEVs was really impactful, but, like, it's just never going to be enough. He was so far ahead at that point. Still have 31 gigabytes free. That should be fine. That should be fine. Yes, yes. A-Game has always wanted to. A-Game has always wanted like PC aggro like that to not be just the thing every game, you know. But you can't nerf it to the point where it doesn't exist anymore. So it's always been a tough balancing act for him. Well, here we are on Galzian territories. I thought for a moment about doing something really stupid and like making this the macro game because you'd never expect it. No, it's too dumb. So I think we are gonna rush here.
Go ahead. Salvager construction complete. Moving to new waypoint.
Time to show what 3 months of not practicing means. Yes, yes. Because you better believe I'm gonna play absolutely perfectly this finals, right?
Hunter awaiting orders. Awaiting orders.
On a diagnostic on the PDSS charges. I don't want any delays.
Well, I guess 5? No, well, I mean, you could say I was doing it even in 2016, but I wasn't around for long back then, of course.
Rally point designated. Out. LAV now available for production.
It's gonna be LAV spam for just carrier.
Salvager construction.
Definitely warranted on a map like this. Of course, I'm already here, so if I can stop his LDMs from working, that would be good, but, you know, we'll see what I'm able to pull off here.
Hostile contact on the board. On our way. Logistics modules.
Yeah, because anomaly doesn't really count. That's true, like, we almost never play when it's not tournament games. By the way, 1 for 1, that's fine. I was hoping to get, like, better than that, but the carrier missile does manage to snipe off one last LAV there, or Sandskimmer, you know. We have our 2PC on the way. Always get that 2PC. Faster is better than slower. I mean, rail rushing is just really difficult to pull off, but, you know... I think that a lot of people have problems when they're rail rushing, trying to do things that like just can't really get away with, like getting Sandskimmer raiding right at the start, or like teching railguns when they're up against LAVs, things like that. And yeah, by the way, I agree, just carrier is dead. Losing that logistics module is actually pretty crippling, because now he has to like rebuild that. Anyway, you need to know the basics of rail rushing really, really well if you're gonna make this work, because it's all about that strike craft battle there. And if you can't get that 2PC out in time, you're just kind of dead. Yeah, it's true. It's a lot of money. And it's not like Just Carrier is going to be struggling to build LAVs, but extra money that he has goes into upgrades, which is really important, right? Anyway, I'm going to be getting Railgun Fab now, because I can see that I'm winning the Strikecraft battle pretty consistently, so... not consistently, what's the word? Convincingly. So I want to have some threat against this carrier now. Uh-oh, this is a bad fight for Just Carrier as well. That's 13 to 10 here. Unlucky numbers. And even though it's going to be me retreating eventually, I'm basically just doing that because the carrier came in. Oh, and he chases too far again as well. So you can see the units lost tab here. This is starting to add up now, right? You have to take out the 270 for the logistics module. You can see it was like 2 for 1 there, or 2 for 0 basically at the end of all that. And by the way, the Galcian player is very happy to... He's very happy to like trade out those units because that way he doesn't need to tech fleet capacity. So you've got to be thinking about that as well. I'm probably at like 60 now, whereas I have 65 teched. Or wait, no, I'm probably at like 40. You know what I'm saying. That's true though, Just Carrier finds a spot of high ground here, which is nice, but it's a bit of an awkward one to use because the hill is a bit slopey and it makes it so that sometimes like some of the LAVs aren't shooting. And if he pushes up this hill, he doesn't have high ground, so this is going to be a bit of a catastrophe as well. Yes, it's true. It's true. I always described it as being knife's edge, right? But it's like that for the attacking player as well, you know? Like, you have to execute it perfectly, you have to defend against it perfectly, otherwise, like, you just instantly die. It doesn't matter which side of it you're on. I agree, because it's the mirror matchup too, right? You can't even say, like, oh, now I've got this to surprise him. It's not really such a thing. Really good upgrade lead, actually, for just carrier, by the way. But still, he can't push in here, so he's gotta wait. What can give a comeback chance for both sides? I don't know if it really can even be done. It's just a very divisive playstyle that Galzian can have their production come to the front line that early on, you know? By the way, Salvager getting picked off, I mean, that's just depressing, right? So... I think it would have to be, like, you'd have to incentivize players to... Wow, those are bad numbers. You'd have to incentivize players to, like, go for abilities or something instead. I don't know. By the way, Just Carry kind of has to take this fight because he's fleet capped now, right? He needs to lose units, but he's never going to win this fight. It's horrible. It's horrible. And now he's just going to get fleet capped again. I mean, yeah. It's absolutely over. There's nothing you can do for this position. By the way, you don't usually feel quite how desperate it is for the defending player when you're the attacker here. When you're ahead, it's like, oh, it's going all right, but this is still a little bit stressful. When you watch the replay from the defender's perspective, you're like, oh, he lost 5 minutes ago, and we're just kind of waiting to finish it here. Well, that's going to even up the scoreline. But yeah, I think that to make comeback chances better here, you kind of would need to, like... I don't know. You need to incentivize players to, like, go for units that have abilities, because that can really swing things. Because if you change the numbers, you're going to make it so that, you know, Galzian is just bad even in macro games, right? So it's pretty tough. Like, I don't envy A-Game's job trying to balance this game for so long. And railgun rushing is one of the things that's absolutely just given him a total headache, by the way. He's been trying to balance this build for, like, the beginning of time. Yeah, yeah. But so that's what I'm saying, like, maybe if there was some ability change that could, like, make a really... like, make a tactical decision on the battlefield really important, right? Like, if I'm able to use this ability well, I get a lot of space back from my opponent or something. As opposed to just saying, well, we need this unit to be stronger, or we need this unit to be cheaper, or whatever. The other thing, of course, you could try would be to, like, slow down PCs a bit. But see, that actually might even be more polarizing, because people will still go for it, right? If PCs are slower, then they're more likely to get killed by AVs, so I think it actually might make it even more, divisive. Now, that's a thought. That's a thought for sure. Right? Just make it harder to attack people in the early game. By the way, scanner is successful this time, so we're probably going to see Sandscreamer Fab get cancelled here. Come on, do it! Do it! Do it! Yes! Woo! And we're going to go for that 2PC greed build here. And we're going to be able to get away with it, right? Because my opponent is probably going SC first here. I don't actually... Oh, he's not. Frick. Okay, well that might be bad then, actually. I'm changing my mind here. Oh no. Because obviously, like, this is the scenario where you die to this, so, because he's spamming LAVs. So this might actually be, like, really bad. We'll see, we'll see. Maybe I get away with this, but this is going to be a bit of a tough early game for me. See, I'm kind of playing myself there, right? Like, that scanner wants to see if it's SC first, but if it was... Oh, you absolutely can punish, I think. And we'll see if it happens here. But, you know, I think, like, Descara was the one who was really the best at this. It wasn't a punish like you would just instantly die, but you would just be behind for the entire game, and then you'd come up with some kind of tech and you die. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Looks like just actually boosting to get to the front line. That's kind of a neat trick, because he knows he wants to punish as fast as he can. Sandscaper rating is coming out, but I'm going to cancel that, think better of it. It's carrier systems 1. And I definitely agree with that call. I mean, obviously, I'm the one who made it, but... I really need the carrier to be able to help defend here. Base runner heal, by the way, coming in clutch there, actually. Whoa, coming in really clutch there. Yeah, K carrier is even better, right? Because then he doesn't even really need power 1. He gets that range for free, yeah. A little bit awkward there. The Sandscammers want to go in and hit that wounded LAV, but I kind of just spend the whole run-up doing nothing, so... Not exactly what you like to see there. As in, it's exactly what you don't like to see. And I got some really wounded... This guy actually has 1 HP, oh my gosh. They need to spend some time in hospital, you know? Instead, he's up here frontline. What a brave hero. But yeah, the LAVs kind of get caught in the pocket here. Did a Salvager fall? Oh, I mean, at least that's something then, but it's definitely not as much as just Carrier was hoping for. And that ain't good. That ain't good. So I think that the way that Descara used to punish this was that he would only build like 5 or 7 LAVs, right? And he would use these to like attack the opponent and make him defend like I've been doing. And in the meantime, he would get up onto 3 base, right? Oh, see Apex. And I mean, I can't stress it enough. He was so good at this. It was just like brutal to play against him when he was doing that. Because if you tried this sort of greed and it like you got the read wrong, you just instantly died. And that's actually where I learned to do the ref mode first build properly, because, man, if you didn't, you just died, you know? What can the 5 LEV... Well, they just delay, right? It's kind of like with the assault ship rushing against coalition players. You're not trying to kill them, you're just trying to delay, you know? And then you jump up onto 3 base and you're way faster than them, and then you go air, and then the whole game just explodes. It's probably easier said than done. I mean, Descara's he's pretty decent at the game, but yeah, he definitely proved that it can work. It's gonna be tough now though, because we have armored units coming out, you know, and Just Carrier's not gonna be like everyone else in this freaking tournament, just keep building LAVs into assault ships. He's taking railguns now, but it's gonna be very tough. It's gonna be very tough. Ah, see, maybe this whole 3-month hiatus was just like a ruse of mine to like make you get out of practice. And I've like secretly been playing on an alt account against people for like years. Yes, yes, that's how it was done. Yes! Anyway. Sandscaper's gonna pick off this LAV here. And just Carrier trying to move up onto his 3 base, but these 3 assault ships are really tough to do anything about with the LAVs, so he needs rails before he can do anything. And they're only just now coming out, so his 3 base is going to be pretty delayed as well. And in the meantime, it's up to me what kind of tech I want to go for. It looks like it'd be interceptors this time. Oh yeah, you can go invisible on Steam, can't you? However, you act like I have other friends, which is a mistake. It's really just you. Yeah, to try and like muscle me out of that third base location, because the assault ships can just hide behind these hills, and it's so freaking annoying, right? I always hate it when people do that to me. LAVs are winning this fight for sure, though, right? Not even the upgrade lead, but they also are just outnumbering me, so I can't fight him there. And if he wanted to, he could get vision on the carrier, which I think he ought to do here, because he doesn't know that there's air coming, but... Oh yeah, he actually... No, because missile ship is... Or missile battery is locked behind AAV fab, isn't it?
Roger. Displacing now.
Yeah, armor 3. I don't really need that, do I?
Light attack vehicle.
Oh, it's bombers! Oh! LAV rail can have some anti-air against interceptors, so bombers are really just like the nail in the coffin, but they're gonna take longer to get to, so we'll see if it's worth it. But yeah, at this point, the carrier just really can't be moving up to third. It's gonna take way too long. So he's gonna have to launch this out with these mid-tier units here, and it's not gonna be easy.
We require additional RUs. Proceed to rally point.
Yeah, interceptors can kind of get shredded if they are attacked for long enough, but, like, I don't think that LAVs are really, that credible of an attack. I mean, they don't have a whole lot of range, and with the line of sight blocking can sometimes get awkward, so... You can certainly find places where these interceptors can fight that the LAVs are not. Oh, you should not lose LAVs to... interceptors to LAVs. Okay, I see. So you're actually reiterating my point there. By the way, one railgun does fall there. A bit awkward as I drop a bunch of missiles on the support cruiser there. And it looks like we actually don't get the kill because of that, so it's a little bit awkward, but... Nice counterattack here by just carriers using the boost to get there faster, but he's still just never going to get on 3. This is going to be tough. We might use det packs here, but I think it'd probably be a bit of a waste. We're going to deal with this in time, just using the assault ships, so we don't need to be investing a whole bunch of resources in the defense. Yeah, and you can see they just melt away there. Check the unit slots tab here, and again, I think the story of this game is pretty clear. And it's still no 3 base, so this is even worse than it looks. Bombers coming out too. You gotta love it.
Rally point designated.
Don't hit the SC. Okay. I'm pretty bad with air units, but I should be better than that. Could I interest you in, dropping your bomb at any time? Okay, there we go. Assault ship's gonna jump up here too. That's actually probably a mistake. I mean, they don't even really need it. But... Like, we don't even need the help of the assault ships. And now we're kind of losing that threat that we had of, like, the blockage on the other side. But even so, I mean, you can see we just killed everybody, so... That feels pretty good. I think you did, yeah, I think you did. Because this game is, like, beyond over now, right? And again, the units lost tab is just going to keep ballooning here. There's not really anything that you can do. This assault ship is actually, like, getting down by a support. Well, no, he's still got, like, 250 here. Oh! Can this thing be killed? This is one of these things I always tell people not to do, but then I do it myself. Don't be like this. Don't do this. Ha! I got it! Anyway. Yeah, don't ever do that. It's a waste of time. It's not really worth the risk. Well, a waste of sand skimmers, more like. But just curious, gonna GG out there. And that'll bring the scoreline 2-1 in my favor. Let's jump into game 4. I like how he calls all the games gyms in the replay pack here, by the way. Not like the name, but like the place. Anyway, it's going to be on Canyon Outpost. Nothing bad ever happened on Canyon Outpost, so this should be fine. However, I'm telling you, like, we're actually, like, people with brain cells, so you're not going to see 400 people die on the bridge. Oh, yes. It's about the info picture that you sent. Right. Yeah, instead of seeing 400 million people die on the bridge, you're gonna see 400 million people die, like, right here, I reckon. So, you know. Probe is out. Space Runner retire here. Just Carrier gonna want to get that scouting vision, but he doesn't want to have the Base Runner at home. Definitely respectable. Now, I think that, oh, well, that's not a gym, then. That's a garage. But no, I never watched it. Anyway, it's really annoying for me that this probe is here, and you can see I actually try and hunt it down with the PC. I think this was kind of a mistake, but there's not really anything you can do about this. If your opponent loses the probe badly, that can be really lucky for you, but you can't really count on it. And I think that some players have done really well for themselves keeping that probe. Or sorry, that Base Runner. Like Moose and No Fun would make some pretty good plays with it to try and kill off the Railgun Rush, and that could really just be game-ending as well. But Just Carrier definitely valuing the resources more, and he's gonna go for SC first here. And that can be a bit risky if you expect your opponent is Railgun rushing you, which, you know, I mean, I guess you can just always expect it because it's me. But if it works out, it can be really, really good for you. LEV Fab is on the queue. And that probe, completely untouched, he's gonna go scout the carrier and he'll have all the information on what tech is coming. Because it could be assault ships, I mean, you never know. It's a little risky to try that against Swan, but it can certainly be done.
Salvage your construction complete. Tracking enemy target. Hostile contact marked. Enemy unit detected.
And that probe here, checking out how many LDMs there are too, I think that's kind of cute. If this guy had, like, had a whole haul of RUs or something, he'd be like, oh yeah, well, of course it's railguns, right? And this doesn't necessarily tell him anything, but it could have told him something really definitive, so, you know. I try to go with the front door approach here, but, like, you can't really do anything because there's a carrier and an ALM here. So I don't know why I really tried this. Probably wouldn't have done that again next time. And I think I canceled Sand Skimmers for, like, the second PC here, and I'm even going for raiding before anything else, which is a big mistake, because it's AAV Fab. So, I must have, like, played myself here somehow. I didn't get the read right. There's only 2 LAVs, like, there'd be a lot more if he was LAV spamming. So actually, getting the early railguns was the play, and then it might have just, like, hammered him into the ground instantly, but I definitely made a mistake right there. But, you know, 1 for 0, that always feels nice, especially when your opponent doesn't have a whole lot of army right now. And he's going to evacuate second base right away, because he knows he'll take a bunch of damage if he doesn't, so this is already getting a bit rough. But, you know, with the support cruiser, he could unlock carrier if he wants to and get that thing down here. But you're always kind of playing Ring Around the Rosie there, and it's kind of a tight space, so the carrier can get stuck a bit. It's often advisable not to play around with that sort of thing. By the way, the probe saw the PC light blinking, so he escapes before the PC comes out, which is, like, really impressive, actually. And so he knows that there's no railguns here, right? He's been watching that carry for a long time. He knows there's a second PC coming out and there's no rails yet, so... At least for a time, the AVs are going to be the kingmakers on the field. And we'll see what he's able to do with it. Oh, and Sand Skimmer damage upgrades coming up too. Like, how am I not aware that this isn't LAV spam? This is really stupid of me. We haven't seen the armor yet. Oh, okay, there it is. Now we see the armor. We could have seen the tech on the carrier a while ago, to be fair, but I probably was being lazy and not watching. And you can see right away we click on Railgun Fab, it's like, oh yeah, we need to get this. And I'm not going to lose a PC here or anything, because this is still a ton of Sand Skimmers, and they do have damage 1, so it's not like these AVs can just literally ignore them, but, you know, our opponent's going to be on 2 base, and there's not really anything we can do about it for some time. So now he's got space to breathe. Yeah, it's true. It's true. But I can't attack you right now. So I think at this point, like, it's probably you cancel all of these AVs and just start spamming LAVs or something, but I don't exactly know. 16 of them, by the way. That's twice as many as you have salvagers. Oh boy. Well, I think so. But I don't know, I mean, I'm not really a coalition main, so Just Carrier probably has a better idea of how to fight from this position than I do. And now that the railgun's out, we're going to start focusing these AVs. So he's going to try to smoke as quickly as he can, but he wants to be smoking on that railgun. That's true, ARs could always come out there. But yeah, that's a bit of an oh, and even the parting shot there too, that's just rude. That's a pretty unfortunate fight for just Carrier. And now I think I'm pretty firmly in the driver's seat again.
Enemy contact on sensors.
Can you guys still hear me? Yeah, it looks like you can. Something weird happened with my audio.
Ready alert.
What's on here? Can you hear me now? Yeah, you can hear me now.
Enemy carrier sighted.
Still 16, yeah. Because now we're just focusing on the railguns, right? 18, I guess.
Hostile contact marked.
And, you know, 6 AVs will definitely beat that, but against 2 railguns, probably not. It's a little tough to, like, push in this position, though. I think I'm actually going for EMP rounds, but it's not going to be done before this next fight starts if it happens right now. But, like, I'm getting a lot closer to these AVs than I want to get. Probably it would be better for me to go around and then attack from the back door. But yeah, Sunder and damage upgrades, I mean, these things will just melt in, like, seconds. And you can see that happening here. Oh, gosh, it's brutal. And suddenly there's only, like, 4 left, you know? Yeah, and this is why I'm really just not a big fan of playing AVs into Railgun Rush. Having a few can be good, but if you want to, like, invest into the tech, I don't know, it doesn't seem great. Gotta beat out for that railgun. But I think better of it just charging headfirst into that. Now we have EMP rounds, so that's gonna make things more difficult as well. You can see we're just buying as much time as possible here with the EMP rounds. Just gives my skims more time to chunk up these AVs before they can get in range. And even so, we're gonna lose quite a few railguns here, but that's okay. Really, we're just hoping to pick off as many AVs as we can. I don't know why I drove forward there. I think maybe I was thinking, oh, perhaps I can finish off this railgun before I die, but that was not true. And you can see, like, let's say that Just Carry had twice as much money as me at all times, right? Because he is on 2 base, although it's not obviously going to be that much. But he's lost twice as much resources, right? So he kind of can't sustain that anyway. Like, it doesn't even matter that he's on 2 base here. And yes, that is skimmers with damage too. But yeah, that just gives you an idea of, like, how efficiently we're trading here. That probe is still on my carrier, though. That makes me angry. I'll shake my fist at it. Armor 1. But see, that's why I'm saying probably it would be better to just stop banking the AAVs at the beginning, like just have 2 of them. And then you can use them as smoke machines, and then you can use them to flank if they survive. And then just like start spamming out LAVs. But I don't know, because once the railguns come out, it's really, really tough for the AVs to fight at all. Oh, I mean, look, they don't even need the railguns at this point. There's so many sandskimmers, they're just chewing them up. That's depressing. It's possible, yeah, it's possible. Oh shoot, I think we're gonna see something really funny happen here. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Okay, so watch this carrier, alright? Look how much armor it has. Look how fast its health is going down. That's just sandskimmers shooting at it. Oh, the sandskimmers just stood there and like gunned it down. Oh, it's so much fun. It's just because of, again, of Sunder on the heavy railguns there, right? Aw, you'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. Anyway, that's going to be game 4 going in my favor, and the scoreline is 3-1 now. It's match point. Yes, insult to injury, exactly. Game 5 going to be on Firebase Krill. And I thought for a moment about doing a, yes, that was a thing, it really was. Anyway, I thought for a moment about doing, like, a Ninja PC thing, but I think that, I think that Just Carrier has, like, a lot of, oh no, his base runner's dirty. I hate it when this happens. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I think that Just Carrier is, like, going for a lot of LAV plays here, so I figured to myself, it's probably not good, because if one of them gets found on its own, it just dies. Ninja PCs are a lot better in vanilla, I think, because they're less likely to just get killed off like that. Probe is deployed, by the way, for Just Carrier before he retires that base runner. And sure enough, it's carrier production upgrades. He's gonna go for the LAV spam here. I reckon we'll see these guys quick drop and then just head over there. All he needs is CUs now. But he's actually not, okay. Interesting. This is LAVs though, right? Yeah.
Enemy contact on the board.
Salvage your copies.
Well, we'll see what his plan is here.
Enemy signature identified.
I remember Discoverer had been talking about some build he was trying to see if he could make it work where, it only worked because you're Sawan, right? And if he were Coalition, it wouldn't work because the base runner starts in the carrier and then has to drive back to it to retire.
Hostile carrier approaching AO. Awaiting new bearing on hostile target.
Anyway, that build would obviously always have had problems with base runners derping like that. It is going to be a Sandskimmer PC rush, you know, no surprise there.
Reposition tracking enemy target. Carrier here.
But yeah, the response is the LAV spam, and I think that this is proper. Another ALM drop just to give a bit more cover. And if I can pick off an ALM, that's a pretty nice prize, but well, that's a big if, I suppose. You can see I lose a bunch of Sandskimmers trying that. I am going to get the ALM eventually, but I've lost so many Sandskimmers here that all of a sudden, even though my opponent like got LAVs much later than me, he actually outnumbers me right now. So that was a huge mistake. And this is what I was saying about like Railgun Rush games being really on a knife's edge, is like if I make a mistake, I die too, you know? And all of a sudden, it's 2.5 minutes into the game, and I think I've already lost. Someone like Discara, he would probably just GG right here. Even an ALM being deployed to like hunt down the PC. Oh, that's just brutal. But yeah, I've said it in cast before, but if you lose a PC in the early game like this, it's really, really hard to come back. And somehow I managed it in one of those games against March 1, but that felt like a bit of a fluke, you know, it doesn't happen very often at all. Probe actually gonna get sniped this time, but at least Just Carrier knows about the 2 PC then.
LAV taking effective fire.
Well, you can, like, not instantly die, but your opponent should always be able to finish you off at that point, right? And I'm gonna stick it out because I'm like a fanatic, you know, but obviously this game is pretty much over from here.
Enemy sighted.
Just Carrier, by the way, responding. Oh, I dropped my mouse. He's responding exactly as he should. He's getting his, whoa. Close-up of dirt there. He's getting his second base set up right away. Salvager, don't die! Ah! We lose one there. Well, they're responding against Marchwadden, but Marchwadden really had to, like, snatch defeat from the jaws of victory there. It doesn't happen very often that you can come back after losing a PC. Oh, shoot, yes, I know the one you're talking about. Is it, like, Game 3, I think, on Kartoba? Oh. And, like, I actually really came back in that one, and then I managed to lose anyway. That was a crazy game. That was a crazy game. Yeah, they can come back, but it's so difficult, right? I mean, like, I really want to emphasize just how unlikely it is. But it's not impossible. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Enemy signature identified.
true, but you're on 2 base and you have a huge tech lead, so I feel like this still just should not be possible. In fact, I'm going for like Sandskimmer raiding. This is a bit daft because I should know that like the threat now is some kind of tech and I need railguns, but.
Enemy contact on the board.
We're gonna pick off the ALM. That's true. That's true. I guess I shouldn't be too pessimistic.
Signature identified.
But I think you're kind of playing scared here, you know.
Hostile unit marked.
Like I think holding me at the base was probably more likely. In any case, fighter and gunship can always come out too, which makes things complicated. $15 to 10, and then 3 80s. But yes, with production cruiser anti-air, that's true. Makes things difficult. And you can see now I'm having to have the Sandskimmers fight in a battle that they're sort of losing here just to like keep the production cruisers alive, but we're managing to stave them off. We're buying time for railgun fab, and it's just come out, so I think I'm building 2 assault. Oh, it's assault railguns. No, they just have rating right now.
Hostile contact marked.
And that's armor too, so the Sandskimmers are gonna do like very, very little damage to these AVs. Well, the ARs I thought, yeah, I mean, I guess probably the heavies are better. Don't you mean the HACs, the heavy armored cars? But I think ARs I thought because they can also contribute pretty well to like the LAV fight, but you don't actually have that many LAVs left, do you? Yeah, it's only 7. Wow. Yeah, so heavies was probably just the play here.
We have new bearing on hostile target.
Construction units exhausted.
This is pretty annoying though. It's a very nice fortress that just carriers got set up here. Rail Armor 1 comes out just to keep these assault rails a little bit more healthy against the AVs. We probably actually want Dart Maneuver too, but it's a little bit expensive, so it's not super easy to get it. Dart Maneuver is just really good, actually, as it turns out. I don't think people use it very well, but like if AVs are getting up on top of your grill, like yeah, you use Dart Maneuver and you just like win. This is the fake hill of Firebase Krill, by the way, so I am actually shooting him here, so he needs to back up a little bit further.
Enemy contact.
Never forget the fake hill of Firebase Krill.
LAV taking effective.
Oh, that's a lot of AVs, though. Uh-oh, and one assault railgun just jumps out to its death there for no reason. Yeah, and it's remarkable I keep building assault rails here, because, like, the army has no LEVs in it at all now. Like, there's one left. So why am I building assault rails? Do I even want to see the units lost tab? It ain't good. It ain't good. And I think this PC is just gonna die, yeah, I mean, it's just melting. That's actually Sunder for the railguns helping it die so much faster, you know. High rate of fire, low damage units, but you take out their armor, they melt. But yeah, I mean, if the first PC loss wasn't like game over, that's gotta be game over. And again, I'm like ridiculously confident that I can pull this back, so I'm going for ref mode here now. But there's no coming back from there. And probably what Just Carry should do is just like go for air units or something and then just like murder me. But he can kind of do whatever he wants, you know. He's really far ahead from this position. It's interesting looking. Soul Railgun is having some fun with the fire base there. Armor 3 finishes. Oh, that's pretty good. Is that true? Oh.
Enemy sand skimmer on approach.
That's kind of interesting.
New threat identified.
Probably he had to do it because he gave them AoE, right? And you can't reduce the damage or else you get like smokebox syndrome. By the way, the carrier very bravely trying to buy time here. There's one heavy railgun, so that's better than none. I like the marked target there, by the way, because what he's doing actually is buffing the damage of those AAVs. Which, that sounds funny, but it actually is making a big difference there, so... These are the utility railguns of all time. You know what I mean? But how many AAVs is this? 10? Yeah, I mean, like, he could kill me right now if he wanted to. The skims are gonna have to hit, like, 14 times above their weight in order to fight back here. But, you know, we have 2 heavy railguns, so things could be worse. Yeah, this game definitely ain't looking so good. What we really need here is, like... Well, I mean, what we need is to go back in time and stop myself from losing all these PCs. What we need is EMP rounds, but, like, we're so short on RUs, there's no way we can ever get it.
Enemy contact on sensors.
Ooh, look at this. A little counterattack over here. I like that. I like that. Because I guess I'm saying, like, well, the skims aren't going to do anything in this fight, so let's just get them moving out to where they can do something. Assault railguns, hey, they're doing their thing. Not bad, not bad. We're looking for every silver lining we can get, you know what I'm saying?
Additional fabrication facilities now active.
But yeah, once this counterattack hits, that's probably going to be just Carrier's Q to go in. Because now he's like, okay, well, I'm going to be losing things on the other side, so let's just kill him.
A salvager has been lost. Hostile sand skimmer on sensors.
Yeah, but that just kills, like, the Galzian early game. That's how it was in vanilla, you know, where, like, LAVs would always win that. Those were dark times. By the way, just Carrier still hasn't pulled the trigger here. It's kind of surprising.
Enemy contact on the board.
Range calibration? You madman! Yeah, I don't need that. I'm never gonna be outranging him here. I don't know why I'm getting range calibration. That's so random. EMP was definitely the call here. Ah, so that I can dislodge this railgun from the high ground. I'm such a weird player. Like, why do I do this kind of thing? Okay, now get back to your hill. Here they come. Here they come. Get ready. Yes. Oh, and carrier block is awful here, by the way. So, if I would drive sideways as he was coming, I would stop him from, being able to drive up. So, that was really, really badly done. Actually, keeping one in weapons and one in speed would probably be better there, too, because I know he has to go through me anyway. I don't need power and range. You joined a very balanced match, yes, indeed. Yo, Smog, have you signed our petition yet? And also send a DM to the community manager. Yes. Hey, look, I'm holding on. See, I've got another railgun. It'll stabilize. By the way, there's like no salvagers left. I think, unironically, the best play here would be to like retire one of these PCs. Anyway, that's GG. Yes, good. And that brings the scoreline to 3-2 in my favor as we jump into game 6 here. And it's tight and passage. Let's frickin' go. You know what happens next. I mean, if there was ever a map for a PC rush, you know. I feel like I say that about half the maps in the game. Anyway, the point is, this is a good map for PC rushing. And so naturally, this is the one where I'm gonna go no, I mean, that is something that I would do, but...
Proceed to rally point. Arming logistics modules.
Location designated.
Like increasing the speed they get on boost or something, or what? You could add like a status effect that gave them acceleration when they're boosting. That might be interesting.
Salvager construction complete.
But I really gotta say, like, if you go back to the vanilla days where LAVs just were like the only thing that anyone ever built, it'll be bad times.
Enemy contact on the board.
Oh no, see, I think that, I mean, yeah, the number is arbitrary, but doing it at all would just kind of like destroy it.
Enemy unit detected.
Well, that's not really true though, because a lot of these maps are made by like A-Game, who plays all the factions.
Carrier sighted.
This is actually not a custom map though, you know. This is just a normal one.
Rally point designated. Move out.
Enemy signature identified. Enemy sighted. Enemy on sensors.
New fabrication facilities now operational. LAV now available for production.
Enemy contact on sensors.
Carrier Systems 1. That's unique.
Hostile unit marked.
Huh.
Enemy sand skimmer on approach.
Well, I mean, we know what that's for, of course. It's 2PC on the way already, by the way.
Hostile sand skimmer on
just-
sensors.
Get that set up right away.
Enemy sand skimmer on approach. Tracking hostile. Enemy contact on the board.
Identified location verified.
Hostile sand skimmer on sensors. Bring it.
Light attack vehicle.
Enemy sand skimmer on approach. Tracking enemy target. Hostile contact marked.
And it's gonna be Sandskimmer rating before rails. Now this time we definitely have the read right? This is LAV spam.
LAV construction complete.
Have LAVs drop smoke when boosting, yes. The Conf smoke, yeah. Shoot, Carrier, is that something we could do in Anomaly patch? Oh my god. That might actually be possible, right? Oh, you can't? Oh, darn. GE 1.4? I mean, maybe.
Enemy contact on
Oh, that'd be so funny.
enemy sighted. Enemy signature identified.
Oh, right. It has to be like a weapon, yeah.
Awaiting orders.
Yeah, if GE Mod 1.4 had an ability to add custom weapons, that would really make things much more possible. And the boosted anomaly is already OP. Well, you could argue this would actually make it worse, couldn't you? By the way, I actually have the upgrade lead right now, so that's not what you see every day. What are the numbers, like 14 to 13?
Hostile contact marked.
I still can't just like drive right at him, but
Sand skimmer.
this is a pretty good spot for me to be in.
Destination set.
Enemy sand skimmer on approach.
Let's actually just keep eyes on the unit count. I think that's sort of more important here. And just Carrier, uh-oh, making a big mistake here. He's actually down boost right now, and he's moving over the hill. Oh, I can't believe he didn't die there. That was really close to just ending the entire game right there. These guys are gonna have boost again for the next one, so that's good for them.
Hostile sand skimmer on
And again, I'm just totally skipping railfed. This is pretty gutsy for me. I mean, the call is like, well, he's just gonna keep having more LAVs, so I don't even need to get them. Allow me to save up that money for the armor upgrades there. Boost is used, by the way. Uh-oh, and these LAVs are running away down the high ground here. That might just be game right there. That's a pretty decisive trade. Now we probably tech rail again, Fat.
enemy sand skimmer on approach.
I don't actually have the RUs for it. That's kind of funny. You can see it on the unit slots tab there for sure. Right? It's only gonna get worse from here. Now we can start just trading and killing all salvagers if we want to. I think Power 1 was probably a mistake, because that didn't do anything for the fight. But... That's true. That's true. You know, one thing I actually suggested to A-Game was that we give LAVs AoE. Which sounds ridiculous, but the idea was to say that, like, if they have, like, make the radius, like, this big or something, right? And this way, like, LAVs versus skims, the dynamic is unchanged in one-on-one fights, but if they're, like, this grouped up, the LAVs always win. And that would pretty much kill off railgun rushing entirely, without making a huge change to how the game goes.
Signature identified.
Yes, it would have perfect accuracy, but you could just reduce its fire rate a bit to compensate for that, right? I should get Sandstorm armor too. I'm joking, of course. Yeah, whichever one is faster. It's been so long since I modded DOK, I can't remember which one is which. And there's the GG. Just Carrier knows this is not going anywhere. Actually, we probably... No, we haven't finished... Oh, we have finished Railgun Tech. Yeah, it's probably coming out then. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of Jaraci Cup 17. That's 4-2. It's a win for me. I'm happy to get my revenge against Just Carrier, who of course beat me in the last one. I guess that's true, yeah. I guess that's true. Well, you know, it's like riding a bike. You never totally lose it. You never totally lose the ability to rail rush. That's true, he beat me 4-2 last time. Ooh. Look at the symmetry there. Crazy. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. I will see you in the next one. And that'll be it for the casts.